I want to reiterate what Mr. Defoe said. This is an awesome event. I'm a big history buff. I used to go through yearbooks when I was little to know who the people were ahead of me, and you try to live up to those when you're a kid. And I'm also a firm believer that everybody deserves their, and I don't know what the full saying is, that 15 minutes in the spotlight or the sun or whatever it is, but this is just a cool event, and it's really over the years become something I think meaningful, obviously for the people who have been inducted, but for the coaches and the other people involved to kind of reflect on what they've been able to do. So I'm going to just share a few memories of Emily. I had her in school, and as an athlete, I was the track coach. And my first memory of Emily, and I don't know the exact grade, she might have been a 7th grader, but we were at a soccer game, and my son was playing, and there was a whirling dervish on the field, literally like a cyclone, and it was, at that point, I think it was mostly boys on the team, a couple of girls, and it was Emily. And she was actually out playing, I think she was playing up a level, but she was out playing the kids that she was with, and most of them were boys. And so as a track coach, I was kind of keeping track of that, and obviously was excited to see her maybe in the future. That thing scares me. And so to me, that kind of set the groundwork for what Emily would become as she came up through the high school, is that she was just full of energy, full of athleticism, full of playmaking, and I still can remember her, flying out of bounds after a ball that, everybody else had let go. And so, from an early age, I knew that she was going to be something special. In track, she was a high jumper. She ran hurdles. And toward her last year, she ended up running an 800. And so she was invaluable to us, was a mega point scorer, actually set the school record, which still stands in the high jump, 5'4", qualified for Drake, qualified for the state meet. I'm not going to go through all her stats. It's all on the sheet there. It was amazing. And my fondest memory with her high jump was, and Angie was there, at Pella Christian, and I don't know if it was a co-ed meet, what the deal was, but it was taken forever. Some meets were like that. And Emily was high jumping, and she kept clearing it and kept clearing it. Well, she had to go over and run other events while she was doing this. And normally the high jump is done before the rest of the meet keeps going. And Emily finished running the 400 hurdles, which I think is probably one of the most difficult events in track. She finished running the 400 hurdles, then went back and still high jumped after that, which, if you know anything about track, is way late in the meet, and after one of the most difficult events, she still had enough juice in her that she could do that, and that's the night that she set the record. And it was just an amazing thing. As a coach, you really appreciate the fact that she did that. My last memory of her is from her senior year, and we had a period of time there where our volleyball team was outstanding. The whole school got behind it. The kids would dress up in outfits, and the team had shirts and got everybody fired up. And we had some real studs on those teams, and I think Emily was at the top of the list with that group. If you've been to volleyball games, you notice how hard they hit the ball. And when Emily hit the ball, it was like a jackhammer. And she was so smooth and so athletic in doing it that you just would watch in awe as she did this. And as time has gone on, and we've had other kids obviously come through, we've had good players over the years, but I'm not sure anybody's approached her level of skill with that particular sport. And so she obviously then went on to play in college, which to me is at a Division I level is outstanding also. And so, but during her senior year, she hurt her knee, and seriously enough where she missed most of the basketball season. And doggone it, she came back out for track. She could have given up, And she came back out. She didn't get a high jump, but she ended up running an 800 for us, well enough that she was part of a school record, which a very good time. I think they got 7th in the state that year. And so that kind of showed me what kind of heart she had as an athlete and as a person to come out anyway. She kind of did it for the team. I know it was extra work for her and probably not as fulfilling because of the things that she had done before, but that kind of showed me that she had the heart of a tiger, which I think is what this Hall of Fame thing is all about. And, you know, looking back on it now, it was phenomenal that she did that. But, yeah, she's a special young lady, and she still looks like she could do most of the things that we just got done talking about. Considering she has 3 kids, so she's an amazing young gal, and I'm glad that you know, we could get her rightful place in this Hall of Fame. And at this time, I'm going to give you your plaque.
Okay. First, I want to thank. Oh gosh. First, I wanted to thank Coach Scroeder for the nomination into the Hall of Fame and the ADM Association, Alumni Association, for presenting me with this honor. After receiving the phone call from Coach Scroeder that I had been selected as a Hall of Fame inductee, I was immediately taken back to all the great times playing as an ADM Tiger. I truly loved all my opportunities I had throughout high school. There aren't many student athletes nowadays who are able to participate in 4 sports, and that opportunity doesn't come on your own merits. Something like this doesn't happen by yourself. There's teachers, there's coaches, there's teammates, and your family all play a huge part in allowing you to participate in as many sports as you want to. This ADM community played a significant role in my athletics, my education, and my overall upbringing. I cannot express how much it means to grow up in such a tight-knit community where people genuinely care about you. The support and care this community shows for each and every one of their athletic programs really created a lot of special moments that I still treasure today. I love sports. I mean, I love all sports. Some of my favorite memories really revolve around sports. In softball, it was being able to play with my younger sister Sarah and all the summers full of softball from sunup till sundown. Basketball was the annual Carroll summer team camp. Tryon would always organize everything, and we'd stay in 2 small little hotel rooms in Carroll and play basketball all day long and hang out all night. Track season was all the memories of the high jump pit with my friends and teammates hanging out, being a hurdle pup with Coach G, and every straight track meet every single year. I'd always try to finish up my track season with a delicious giant turkey leg at the state meet. As you can see. Coach Tryon, my senior year in volleyball, was an amazing year. He always had this relentless desire to win no matter what. He always had crazy street signs and amazing sayings that made the year every single time very special. But the best was making the first state appearance my senior year for ADM. I still remember the first time I was introduced to volleyball. I was running cross country in 7th grade, and I really loved it. Mr. Bagley was coaching volleyball for 8th grade with Mrs. Boston. And instead of running cross country, Mr. Bagley convinced me to play volleyball. He said, give it a shot now in middle school, and if you don't like it, go back to cross country in high school, but you won't be sorry. So I went home and I talked to my parents and started talking about volleyball, and my dad, being my dad, really didn't think volleyball was a real sport at the time. So he chose to tease me, and his impersonation of volleyball was hilarious. Ooh, volleyball. Ooh, volleyball. Look at me, volleyball. But being my parents, they didn't say no very often, and they chose to continue to support me in my choice. Come to find out, volleyball was the perfect fit for me, and my dad's opinion of volleyball quickly changed. I had the opportunity to continue my volleyball career after high school as I went from being an ADM Tiger to becoming a Drake Bulldog. I can look back at all my past teams and know that I was blessed to have very many coaches that truly believed in all my ability and pushed me to be a better person on and off the court. But not only was I surrounded by great coaches and a great community, I was also surrounded by my family, and most of all, my parents. My parents didn't really teach me how to play sports, but they taught me why to play sports. They taught me to compete, to never give up, to respect the game, to play like it's your last. They taught me to enjoy your successes and learn from your failures. But above all, my parents taught me determination, dedication, and discipline. These 3 traits can be translated into any generation, into any job setting, into any and all parts of your life. After I've completed my collegiate career at Drake, I was able to see that this is not an ending point, but a new beginning. The beginning of the rest of my life post-sports, with my new team, my own family. I can only hope to give my own children the same opportunities I was given by my parents, my coaches, and this community. Thank you again to the ADM Alumni Association for this great honor, and I'm blessed to be a Tiger. Thank you.